Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. I saw you use a Fibonacci in a previous video. Can you explain what that is and how you use it for your analysis? Yeah, sure. How I use that for my analysis is I like to use it in conjunction with other tools, right? So let me just bring up this chart through here. I'm going to bring up this weekly chart through here. So how I use Fibonacci levels is this. If I see that we're starting to get some form of a bull market happening, right? So if I bring my charts back to here for a minute, right? If I see that we're seeing this point through to here, right? We had this move up, strong move up, and then we had this very, very weak move down. If we had that, then I'm going to bring the Fibonacci from the low through to the high, and I'm going to keep it there. Now, if the market comes back down, right? Let me just leave this here. If the market comes down to 50% or less and then starts to continue, like it did here, that's showing me that now there's a lot of strong momentum behind that. All right? There's a lot of this 50% level or less showing a lot of strong momentum all behind that. So when we're looking at this here, you can see how we had a strong move up, a pullback. It actually pulled back only to the 30% level, 50% or less, and then it continued up. The trend is likely to continue. And then it continued up from there. So when I'm looking at, say, gold right now in a Fibonacci fashion, I'll go from the low of the last move to the exact high. And you can see how that right now, the 38%, just like it did back here, is finding a lot of support. So we can see that's what's going on through there. You can see how this is really, really, really building a lot of strength through there. And I'm pretty sure in the John's flash sale, I don't think I talk much about the Fibonacci levels, but I really talk about chart reading strategies that can help you. That's the $7 flash sale I'm running right now, guys. At johnsflashsale.com. But what I do is that I definitely like to use this in conjunction for investing positions, or even when I'm looking to trade. When I'm looking to trade the markets and I'm trading the market itself and I'm looking for a good trade, then yeah, then I definitely would do that when I'm looking for a good trade and so on and so forth. You know, guys, and if you'd like to learn my trading strategy and you'd like to learn how I scan the markets and how I trade options with those things here, and you see how I find these trades and all that sort of stuff, then join me on our next web class today. I'm running a free training, a web class today at johnslivetraining.com. Join me on there, guys. You'll be able to see everything. So we can see that that's what's really going on right now, guys. And that's how you use the Fibonacci levels there. I hope that makes sense there, Diego. What about Tesla? Oh, good question. Tesla's actually starting to Tesla's actually starting to hold up a little bit through here right now. It's very hard to say. Let me actually bring up, right, I'm going to bring up some indicators here. All right, so now I'm looking at this here. Looks like the stochastics have come down through to here right now. So we're probably likely to see another move to the upside. I don't think this gap here, I don't think this gap is going to get filled anytime soon. I do believe that we're probably likely to hold here, or maybe hold here somewhere, and then start to rally up and down. So we had this sort of channel through here. We broke down, we went sideways. This is a weekly chart. Then we broke back up. Then now we're rallying back to the upside. They're having a bit of a pullback. Even if it goes through a little bit more of a pullback, I see this thing holding and then continuing and then rallying back up past the 40 level there. And then once that happens, then we could probably see, let's see this here. So if a projection from, if it breaks back up above 380, you would project from the high, then you'll go down to the low from there. Then you extend this up from there to there. So it's probably, if we start to break that 380 level, we're probably on our way up to 500. Because that's how you project it from the high down to the low, and then you project that up. So that's what's going on with Tesla right now. GDXJ I meant. GDXJ. Okay, GDXJ. Yeah. Yeah, you are right. Meaning like GDXJ looks a bit like Bitcoin, yeah, making lower highs through here. It is making lower highs through here, but it's holding massive support level through here as well too. So depending on where it breaks out, if it breaks to the downside, probably very short-lived, only because there's big weekly charges to the upside, but that can change as well. But if it starts to break to the upside, we're probably likely to race to at least the 43 level there. I'm very excited for GDXJ over this next decade, basically. Next decade, guys, is gonna be phenomenal in the markets. Why? Because when you start to see what's going on, recession's coming, tightening of the government, things are likely to go down, fees are likely to pick back up, silver and gold are gonna continue to rise in a nice bull market fashion. Moves up for a while, just like it did recently. Moves up for a while, then has a nice pullback. And then goes for another big run for a few months. And then it has a pullback for 6 months. And then goes for another big run for 3 or 4 months. And then it pulls back for 2 months. And then continues to run. Right? We may get some shoot out of the fashion like we did back here in 2016. But I think this is a bit of a precursor to what's actually happening right now. Especially GDXJ, I love. I'm in GDXJ myself right now. Long term, guys, right? Long term. This is more like a 5 to 10 year type of investing position. Not, I'm getting it now and I hope it goes up this week. Who cares? I just know that things unfold as time goes on. I'm positioned properly for that, for things to move. Recession, things are going to tighten. Stock market's going to start to come down. Money's going to start to flood into the safe haven, which is the metals, gold stocks and all that sort of stuff. And they are going to go crazy. But then again, guys, that may take a few years or more for that to really start to unfold. It may not happen this week. It may not happen this month. It may not happen next year, right? It may be 2021, right? When that happens. So if you position yourself in these metals and stuff like that, and it's an investing, long-term position investing, I just understand that concept of you're positioning because over the next decade, certain things are going to happen. You just don't know when. You're just prepared for it. That's all. I think the market is real close to a breaking of the uptrend. Pat Daddy? Definitely not close to breaking an uptrend. If you're looking at the actual Dow Jones itself, actually let me just bring up this blank chart here for a minute. A breaking of the lows, a breaking of the uptrend means we'd have to break this low through here. Remember, high, low, high, low, high, low. This could actually have a bit of a short-term pullback through here, but doesn't mean it's changed the trend. To change the trend, we would need to start to create a lower breaking of this 26,000. That's right now anyway. So that's basically what we're seeing here, right? Because we have, let me just share this with you once again. Low, let me put on a repeat through here. High, low, high, low. This, we could actually just get some form of a pullback through here. Let me just do this. And that's where, guys, just keep an eye on this, okay? Because yes, we could be getting some form of a pullback through here. But it may be very short-lived before we start to pick back up. It may just go sideways for a little bit and then pick back up. So for this to really change the overall trend, we'd need to break this low through here. Why? Because once again, right, we see this point through here. Low, high, low, high, low, high, low. If the market starts to do something like this, where the market starts to run down and go through there, and then it starts to do something like this, where the market starts to rise, and then create a lower high and breaking of the low, this whole bull market is turning into a bear market. We've gone from upward movement to downward movement. But we could easily have a little pullback, continue this upward movement fashion. Something like this here would be in line. Right, so something like that would be in line. We can see that's what's going on right now. Okay, so we would really need to start to see a really good strong close below these levels through here and below these lows for everything to completely change. Remember guys, in a bull market, what do we have, right? We have these pullbacks. And just because we get a pullback, we think that these pullbacks is the start of the bear market. It's just a nice, healthy pullback, that's all. Once again, guys, you know, if you like this sort of this chart reading stuff, you're gonna love what you see in that flash sale for just $7 at johnsflashsale.com for $7. Or if you'd like to see the way my trading strategy, how I trade the markets, you'd like to see how I scan the markets to find these trades using technology and how I trade options, then join me on my next trading at johnslivetraining.com. I'm running another web class today. S&P futures already down 5 points. That's okay. That's not much, Pat Daddy. That 5 points is really not that much. It's just a little bit. In the scheme of things. Same for the S&P 500. On the S&P 500, we probably need to see a close below these levels here. So we're probably in this channel here. So even if we do get a bit of a pullback here, guys, it's probably going to be short-lived, maybe for a few days or a week, and then probably continuation on the upside. Because I still do see we're probably likely to hit the top of this channel up here, around 29,000 as well too. So this short one, this is probably going to be short-lived before we start to see an upside. That's just my opinion. I don't know that for a fact. Any thoughts on oil? Let's go have a look at oil. What happened with oil today? I actually didn't check oil today. What happened with oil today? Pretty much nothing. All right, so pretty much nothing. We're still stuck in this overall big triangle pattern right now where we are right now. Very, 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 had this move down. A lot of sideways movement through here. Definitely a lot of sideways movement through here. And then, so it depends where we break. As you can see, just very, very lackluster. If we break this trend line to the downside, we're probably going to head on the way down to $30 there, because that's that next support level there. So we're probably likely to start to see that. If we start to break to the upside and we start to go for a run back to the upside, then you can see where my arrow is, right? We're probably likely to race back up towards the 110 level there. So you can see it even on the monthly chart. This is the monthly chart now we're looking at. You can see how it's had this very big triangle pattern. So oil is not much going on. We need to see a break. Wherever it breaks, if we break down, we're probably likely to have a nice move down, especially after all this sideways movement. So that's what I'm seeing through there. Another question. For GDXJ options, is it better to buy for January 2021 or 22, and better in the money or out of the money? What's the optimal strategy? Diego, that's a really, really, really long answer. I can't really give you that answer in just a few minutes. You've got to understand how options work. Why are you buying the GDXJ, and all that sort of stuff? There's so many factors that go into it. There is no one size fits all. Diego there. So yeah, it's very, very, and it all comes down to your risk ratio as well too, right? So, because if you're trading out of the money options, they're a lot more riskier, because the fact of the matter is we may not get, if you buy a January 2021 option and nothing happens for the next 12 months, we just go sideways, which anything's possible, right? Well, you're going to lose a lot of money on that one. So it just depends on your strategy. It depends on how much you're risking as well. and what your thought is and what your outlook is on that. So there is no optimal strategy for that. If you're out of the money options, can do really well, but there's almost a much higher risk as well too, because those options can go to zero really quickly. I've had many options where I've gotten into it, and a week later, thing went to zero. But I understood that as well too, because it's out of the money options. So there is no optimal strategy from there. I've been buying a bunch of puts on BKE XLF. Really? XLF? And it's just broken to the upside? Wow. You're risky. You're trying to pick the top right now. Don't gamble, my man. Don't gamble. You may be right, but this thing is just broken. This is just broken out. Like, this could be the start of another big move. Why are you doing that for? The market's going up. Why are you buying put options now? And calls in GOD and TLT. Okay. GOD, I understand. Just make sure, Pat, that you have plenty of time with that, because we may be going sideways for another few more months. So depending on how much time you got as well too. But buying put options right now, again, you may be right in this thing having a bit of a pullback. We probably will get some form of a pullback through here, but that's very risky. Very, very risky. I always wait to go with the market instead of trying to fight it. Because even if you do get a pullback, you never know how long that pullback's going to be. And TLT, you said. TLT. And calls on TLT. Okay. Well, short term, we've been pretty much doing nothing here. It looks like it's starting to really gallop on the downside through here. Let's go to that weekly chart. Wow, we did it. We had a massive move up through here. So I would say, so we had a massive move of what, almost 9 months, and now we've had what, 3 months. I would say this is probably have at least another few months of downward sideways movement. Another few months before it goes for another run, if it goes for another run. Yeah. What have we done here? We've done probably what? 3 months. So yeah, I would say another 2-3 months of sideways movement before this thing continues up. Because we think about this, right? Think about this as an energy source for a minute, right? I'm going to bring up my good old Snagger tool here for a minute. An energy source is when the market is moving, it's using a lot of energy. And if it goes for a big run, it generally needs a good decent amount of time for a pullback for it to refuel and go for another run again, right? Build an energy. So if the market's going up for a direction for 9 months, it's used a lot of energy. So now we need at least 3 to 6 months for the energy to be refueled before it goes for another run again. So very, very risky there. Very, very, very risky. I definitely wouldn't be trading any of those because that's definitely gambling what you're doing there. But I'm sure you have your own strategy that you're following and that you're sticking to, and you have a plan of attack and you're not risking too much and all that sort of stuff. And if they are losing positions, because they can be losing positions, then yeah, I'm sure you're protecting yourself. Pat says, right, so a trend change is a total trend change and not a pullback. Well, a pullback is just a pullback in a healthy bull market, right? A trend change is that, yeah. Right? So if we look at the market right now, just because the market pulls back through here doesn't mean the trend has changed. How do you determine the trend? By looking at the highs and lows. High, low, high, low, high, low. That's the overall flow of the market. That's how you tell where the trend is. On a short term, we have bull market, right? We have a big rise, and then we have a bit of a pullback. So yeah, you can see all that through there. So, eBell says, "Can you show a snapshot of successful trades?" Well, I talk about some of my successful trades all the time, in this session here. And Eric, if you join my live training or my training, johnslivetraining.com, on that, not only do I walk you through the trades, I walk you through the strategy, but then I share with you trade after trade after trade after trade. So dozens and dozens of trades in there. So if you want some snapshots of successful trades, then you can do that. You know, if you want some recent ones, that's pretty easy, right? Like WUBA was one. This one here, very, very, very nice profitable trade. In there, out there. This is probably going to continue running up. HLT was another one. In there, out there. Let me see if I can bring up some more through here. I'm just bringing up the folder where all my trades are placed. Right, so yeah, so this one here, ACIW, this was another trade. ADLT, in there, out there. So yeah, so they're the trades that I did, and plus I use options on that as well too. So anyway, if you'd like to see, you know, a lot how I actually trade that market, then just join that johnslivetraining.com and you'll be able to see how I do things. The whole point, guys, is with your trading, is what I shared earlier on today, is that what you want to be doing is you always want to be trying to risk small, right? So if you do have a loss, it's a small loss in your account. If you do have a good profit, then it could be a really, really good profit on your account there. Alrighty guys, well that's it for me today. Once again guys, if you'd like to get started in the markets and you'd really like to start to move forward and just get a really good handle, if you're really confused, you're not sure what to do, how to go there, so on and so forth, then go to johnsflashsale.com. You can get the trading course for $7. That's going to really give you a good start. And if you're struggling to read the charts and stuff like that, the mindset, that's a really, really good starting place. If you'd like to learn my #1 trading strategy, how I scan the markets and how I trade options and how with these trades, then I'm running a web class today at johnslivetraining.com. Join me on there and I'll be able to help you out. So thanks for that, guys, and I will speak to you soon. Hey traders, I'm running a flash sale. It's a $7 flash sale to my brand new Go to the Markets by the Balls trading course. If you go to johnsflashsale.com, you can get access to the $7 massive sale that I'm doing right now for a short time. So go to johnsflashsale.com and I'll see you over there.